Series 3, EP4, From Pit to Palace, The Scapegoat's Revenge. This is the perfect finale. We are taking the most painful role in the family dynamic, the scapegoat, and revealing it as God's training program for kings. The insight you asked for is powerful. Once you survive a narcissistic family, you wake up in the real world, Egypt, and realize the entire system is narcissistic. Potiphar's wife is the entitlement. The cupbearer is the transactional user. Pharaoh is the ultimate power structure. Joseph mastered the family so he could master the world. 1. High-stakes packaging. Title option A, the viral winner. From Pit to Palace, Why God Promotes the Scapegoat. Title option B, the deep dive. The Joseph Protocol, Why the Black Sheep Always Ends Up in Charge. Thumbnail, split screen vertical. Bottom, Joseph in the dark pit, looking up, wearing rags. Top, Joseph on the throne, wearing the royal signet ring, looking down at his bowing brothers. Text, They will need you. Script, From Pit to Palace. The hook, the truth about the black sheep. Visual, host speaking directly to camera. Intense cinematic lighting. If you are watching this, you were likely the black sheep of your family. In psychology, we call this the scapegoat. You were the one who got blamed for everything. You were the one who saw the dysfunction when everyone else pretended everything was fine. They told you that you were the problem. They told you that you were rebellious, difficult, or crazy. But here is the red pill truth. You weren't the problem. You were the truth teller. And narcissistic systems, whether it's a family, a church, or a workplace, cannot survive the truth. So they had to expel you. Today, we are looking at the life of Joseph. We are going to see how God uses the scapegoat mechanism not to punish you, but to promote you. Your trauma wasn't an accident. It was your training for the palace. Phase 1, the scapegoat mechanism. Genesis 37. Visual, text on screen, the projection dump. Let's look at Joseph's family in Genesis 37. This was a highly dysfunctional system. Jacob, the father, played favorites. That's the narcissistic parent triangulation. He gives Joseph the coat, creating a golden child target on his back. The brothers are envious, resentful, and hiding their own sins. But instead of dealing with their own darkness, what did they do? They projected it all onto Joseph. When they threw Joseph into the pit, they were engaging in a ritual cleansing. They were saying, if we get rid of him, we get rid of the conviction. This is why you were discarded. It wasn't because you were bad, it was because you were a mirror. And a narcissist hates a mirror. They stripped him of his coat, his identity, and threw him away. But notice this, they didn't kill him, they sold him. Even in their hatred, the narcissist is transactional. They used him one last time to make a profit. Phase 2, the awakening, systemic narcissism. Visual, text on screen. Egypt, the matrix revealed. So Joseph gets sold into slavery in Egypt, and this is where the awakening happens. Most people think the trauma ends when you leave the family. No. When Joseph gets to Egypt, he looks around and realizes, the whole world operates just like my family. He meets Potiphar's wife. She represents the entitled narcissist. She thinks she owns his body. She tries to use him, and when he sets a boundary, she falsely accuses him. The smear campaign. He meets the cupbearer. He represents the covert user. He takes Joseph's help, interpretation of the dream, and then forgets him for 2 years. Joseph realizes that the pit wasn't just a hole in the ground. It's the structure of the fallen world. The world is a narcissistic system. It uses people, consumes them, and discards them. But because Joseph had already survived his brothers, he wasn't fooled by Potiphar's wife. He recognized the pattern. He didn't try to fix her. He didn't try to explain himself. He ran. This is your awakening. The abuse in your family gave you night vision. You can spot a wolf in a tailored suit because you grew up with wolves in sheep's clothing. Phase 3, the promotion. They will bow. Visual, text on screen. Genesis 50:20, the flip. Here is the climax. A famine hits the land. The narcissistic family system, the brothers, begins to starve. Why? Because narcissism is parasitic. It cannot create life, it can only consume it. When they run out of supply, where do they have to go? They have to go to Egypt. They have to go to the ruler. They have to go to the scapegoat. This is the spiritual law. The one they rejected is the only one who can save them. When the brothers bowed down to Joseph, they didn't recognize him. Why? Because he didn't look like a victim anymore. He looked like a king. God promotes the scapegoat because the scapegoat is the only one who knows how to handle power without being corrupted by it. You have been humbled. You have been crushed. You know what it feels like to be at the bottom, so you are safe to be at the top. End. Your kingdom assignment. Visual. Host leans back. Authoritative. Joseph told his brothers, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. He didn't say God allowed it. He said God meant it. The pit, the slavery, the prison, the smear campaign. It was all necessary to get the narcissism out of Joseph so he could rule Egypt. If you are watching this, stop seeing yourself as a victim of abuse. Start seeing yourself as a king in training. The world is looking for leaders who cannot be bought and cannot be scared. That's you. You survived the pit. Now go take your palace. IMOT series complete. EP1, Foundation, Gideon Solomon, Demolition. EP2, Finance, Ziklag, Recovery. EP3, Vetting, Gibeonites, Discernment. EP4, Purpose, Joseph, Authority.